Welcome, everybody, to Pinkies Up. I'm so excited about this episode. We're coming at you a little early this time around because we want to make sure you're fully prepared for your New Year's Eve celebration, whatever that looks like this year, however you're deciding to celebrate. On Pinkies Up, we aim to answer questions that real people like me have about wine. So today we're answering, what is the best champagne for under $15?
Welcome to Pinkies Up, a series where we answer questions normal wine drinkers like Bridget have about wine. I'm Nick, and I'm here to answer these questions in a way that makes sense, whether you drink your wine with your pinky up or you drink it in a solo cup. Let's see what's going on this month. All right, based on that introduction, I already have some problems. I'm Nick, I'm the wine quote-unquote expert here, and I gotta tell you, none of the wines we're tasting today are champagne. Champagne is a very specific type of sparkling wine. Sparkling wine is just that, bubbly sparkling wine, champagne, Cava, Prosecco, American Brut, but champagne only comes from Champagne, France, which is a region in the northeast part of it. It's very special. Their soil, they grow Chardonnay, Pinot Meunier. I think they can grow Aligote and Pinot Noir. But
many people refer to sparkling wine as champagne.
And since this is a series for normal people, we chose to use that word. But as a purist, it always drives me nuts.
So Nick is going to be griping this whole episode about this, so watch out.
So to answer this question, we pulled 7 different sparkling wines that are generally pretty available. You can find all over the place from a variety of regions, and we're really excited to try them all. I'm going to open them all in the air because what more fun noise than sparkling bubble pops?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm sure if you know us at all or if you've been listening to a variety of things that we talk about, you know we both love bubbles, and especially around the holidays. So we know that it's a widely celebrated thing at New Year's. So here we are to try all the bubbles. I'm like a little concerned about this because I don't quite know how to put my finger on like how I describe bad champagne. Woo!
So what do you like though? Do you like more bubbly, less bubbly?
So I prefer more bubbly.
Okay.
I think that we've discussed in the past if proper glassware makes a difference, and it really does for sparkling wine, right? Because it helps the bubbles, something like that. So yeah, the bubbles are important to me. Lots of bubbles. And then the differences between like, what is this that we're trying?
Freixenet, Cava.
Cava. Okay, so like the difference between brut or extra dry or I don't know, whatever kind of pink.
Do you like
bubblies.
a little fruitier? Do you like fruitier? Do you like breadier? Do you like drier, crisper?
So crisper for sure. I do not like fruity sparkling, like the just peachy.
So in sparkling wine, champagne traditionally uses the 3 grapes I said, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. And those can give off a wide range of stone fruit flavors.
Yep.
They can give off green apple flavors. Based on the yeast that they use to do the fermentation, you can get a lot of brioche or bready type of notes.
Is it weird that I didn't realize yeast was a part of this?
Yeah, yeast is what takes the grape juice and turns it into alcohol.
I did not realize that.
So yeast is very important in making sparkling wine. There's 2 ways you can make sparkling wine. And the first is what's called the champagne method or the traditional method. And some of these wines use that. And what that is you make a still wine where yeast, as it turns the sugars of a grape juice into alcohol, into wine, it creates 2 byproducts, alcohol and carbon dioxide.
Okay.
So the carbon dioxide is what causes the wine to be bubbly, just like it does for soda. So the first thing you do to do that is, in the traditional method, you make a dry, not sparkling wine. Then you add a little bit more sugar, or grape juice, sugar, something like that hasn't been fermented. That's called the dosage, and that's what brut or extra dry or sec refers to. You add a little bit. How much sugar is in there is what makes it a brut or an extra dry or whatever. And then you add a little bit more yeast, cap it up, and you let that ferment to the bottle and leave the carbon dioxide in there. And that's what makes it bubbly.
Wow.
The other method that's a lot more industrial, and this is what's traditionally done in Italy with Prosecco, is it's called the Charmat method, where you make a still wine and then you just force carbonate it, basically, just like you would with a keg of beer.
Is one more widely preferred?
Most people think that traditional method is a better way of doing it. You get a little bit bigger bubble, you get more bubbles, and a little bit more complexity of flavor.
Okay.
So that's why, first of all, Prosecco is generally a lot less expensive than things like Prosecco is Italian sparkling wine. Cava is Spanish sparkling wine. Prosecco is generally less expensive than a lot of the other ones because it's a lot less expensive method of doing.
Okay.
So you can get flavors like that. And the ones that are force carbonated Charmat method generally are more that just very crisp, clean type of flavor. Not quite as fruity, not quite as
Which is what I
rich.
prefer. I feel like fruity and bubbles gets to be too much. But for those people who love sweeter things, that might be your way to go.
Okay, so the first wine we're going to try, cheers, is Freixenet Cordon Negro Brut.
Ooh.
And this is a staple of weddings.
Yep.
That don't like to pay for the upgraded package.
Yeah, I do have to admit on air that I used to plan weddings, so I know that
this is terrible.
It's really bad. This brings me to one of my favorite points about bubbles. This was not chilled. And warm bubbles to me are like
this is terrible.
Poison.
So this is a blend of 3 grapes, Macabeo, Zerolo, and Parellada. It, according to their website, there are tasty notes of it's a crisp, clean, and well-balanced sparkling wine with apple, ripe pear, bright citrus, with a long finish and a touch of ginger.
Which sounds delicious.
All I get is a little bit of like apple ginger thing, and not very well carbonated, probably because they rushed the whole process. Cava has to be the traditional method, which takes a longer time, so they probably rushed it to keep it so cheap.
Yep. It tastes flat. I mean, just tastes flat and like one note.
And honestly, that's not the temperature. The warmer temperature would bring out more flavor.
This was one of my questions is like, how important is it that it's chilled or not?
The chill gives it a little bit more refreshingness. It brings out the bubble. It brings out the acidity a little bit more.
Which is why I like it.
Which is a lot of what you need for sparkling wine. You need that acidity. It's why it's such a great food pairing, all the acidity. But if you're looking for the flavors of it, serve it a little bit warmer temperature, maybe like 60 degrees, 55, 60 degrees instead of 45, 50 degrees.
Nah, I'm here for the bubbles.
All right.
I don't need the flavor. I feel like while Nick is popping this next one, I should acknowledge that I didn't just wear this sequin dress to work today.
I wore this.
I do have a wide array of sequins in my wardrobe and nowhere to wear them in 2020, so I'm wearing it here.
I was planning on looking a little bit more festive today.
With your earrings? Or?
I got a little behind stocking. People are buying a lot of wine right now.
That's so great.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they're buying sparkling wine because, it is almost second nature for me to go, woo, every time, which I feel like is so annoying. So I apologize.
No, go ahead. Do it.
It's so annoying, but you have to because we talk about this a lot, that sparkling wine is often meant for a celebration, but like, why not just drink it on a Tuesday night?
So Freixenet is well under $10. This one is called Segura Vieutis. It's another Cava. These are both Bruts. So Brut means there's a little bit of sugar added in that dosage like we talked about. That gives it a little bit of sweetness and just the complexity of the bubbles. So both not super sweet in terms of sugar in there.
Wait, where's this one from? I'm sorry.
Also Spain. Also a Cava. This is a big grower co-op that makes this.
Okay.
And this one gets a ton of awards for like most consistent best value.
I mean, it looks better already than the Freixenet.
It's under $10. And this is a wine, you said, you can have it
on
every day. Every day.
There's no reason not to. Oh, so much more bubbly. I feel like you can hear the fizz in my microphone. I'm sorry. Yep. There's going to be a lot of that, I feel like, on this episode. Oh, that's so much nicer. It's so refreshing. I don't know, just like it's refreshing. I don't know what else.
Fruitiness, freshness, and complexity are the 3 defining characteristics of this wine. They do autolysis on their yeast, which I didn't know. That's very interesting that they did that.
What does that mean?
They spin them and concentrate them, basically.
Okay.
They have persistent mousse flavors, white fruits, citrus, tropical fruits, and light floral, which is another thing you can get off of really good sparkling wine, especially very good champagne. My favorite champagne, Paul Roger, which I think we may have had on the podcast before, is my favorite combination of a touch of green apple, beautiful floral aromatics, and then a nice yeasty brioche note. But I'm going to come clean. I hate Cava. I think it's gross because it's got like an earthy note too, in addition to some of the stuff. And I like that in red wines, but in sparkling wine, I hate it.
Okay.
But this is honestly a great wine. We sell a ton of this. And it's great for mimosas because it got some sweetness in it.
This was one of my questions.
This is a great mimosa wine.
Is this the best? Like, is there the best mimosa mixer?
I think Cava is because I think the sweetness, there's a little bit of sweetness in this. I think it goes really well with the orange juice. I think the fruit flavors go well. But a more popular consensus is kind of Prosecco because it's cleaner, so you get more of the orange juice flavor. But once we get to the 2 Proseccos that we have, then we can get there.
And also, my feeling about this, and maybe because it just came right after the Freixenet, is so this is going to sound really, I don't know how else to say this. It tastes like fizzier, not necessarily more bubbly. Like, it's fizzy. So is that just because there's so many more bubbles? Like,
more bubbles.
As we go down the line, I'll tell you if the others taste fizzy or bubbly, which there is a difference.
Okay.
In my head.
So our next one is Zonin 1821 Prosecco.
Okay. It's bad that I recognize all these names, meaning I've had all of them.
And this is Italian sparkling wine now. And this is one of the forced carbonated ones.
Okay.
And this is made entirely from a grape called Glera.
Okay.
So the Cavas were both those blends of those grapes that we talked about with the unpronounceable Spanish names that are really only used for Cava and not anything else.
Okay.
Glera is also really only used for Prosecco. When you're making sparkling wine, you want grapes that are honestly a little underripe if you were making still wine because you want more acidity in them.
Okay. Across the board.
Yep. So they're going to be grapes that have a little bit more acidity in them, leads to great sparkling wine production, and the flavors aren't quite so complex.
Okay.
Because you think about a great Cabernet, you want all these secondary and tertiary notes, and that comes from the grapes. In sparkling wine, you don't need that. You don't necessarily want that.
Sure.
And your secondary, tertiary notes are going to come from the yeast that you use.
So what, I'm just noticing because this looks beautiful to me. What is it true that sometimes it looks like a little more yellow? And what makes that?
Yeah, that's going to be the grapes.
Oh, okay.
So
just
like,
the kind of grape.
Yep, Chardonnay is going to look a little bit more yellow than Glera, for instance. So like this one's pretty translucent. Also like how much sugar's in the dosage can do that too.
Can make it look.
Yep.
This is the color I like. This one has a very distinctly different taste than the previous one to me.
They suggest it's dry and pleasantly fruity with a fresh aromatic note on the finish. It's not really very, I
don't actually love, I can't pinpoint the flavor of it, but
it's got like a grapefruit type of thing to me.
Yeah, maybe that's, I can't pinpoint it, but I don't love that flavor as much as the
I also don't like Prosecco.
Because it uses this kind of grape?
Yeah, I mean, and look, you can see there are a lot smaller bubbles and there's not as many of them.
Yeah, it went, I don't want to say it went flat. By no means did it go flat, but it went flatter or faster than the previous.
So a lot of people like this for mixed drinks because it's not super over-carbonated.
Like my fave French 75.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. So it works great for that because if that drink's super carbonated, it's not good.
No, not at all. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, that's a really good point. Is it Prosecco that's usually used in a French 75?
Yeah. Okay. So people, Prosecco has just killed it in popularity because it's a good price point, and a lot of people don't like super carbonated.
Yeah.
So if you're not someone that loves...
That's so interesting. Okay.
Bubbles.
Well.
Prosecco is a great choice for you. This Zonin's right under $15, and it's just a great wine. Okay. I don't like it, but I am a super snob when it comes to sparkling wine, as seen by the fact I'm calling it sparkling wine, not champagne.
I am not a snob when it comes to it, so I have had all of these bottles that are...
I mean, I'll drink whatever bubbles you give me.
This is how much I usually spend. So if you are just wondering right now, this Segura is so far the favorite.
Well, and I think the other thing we'll get out of this is, when we did the Can You Taste the Difference Between 15, 25, 50?
Yeah.
You realize that, like, maybe I should spend just a touch more because... Yeah. The value there. I think some of these wines more towards the end that are right up against the $15 price point are really quite great quality.
Yeah. Well, I have upgraded from my $4 bottle of Andre, so I'm going to call that.
We should have got some Andre.
I'm going to say I'm grown up. Yeah, shoot, we should have added Andre. Oh, man.
All right, so this one is Gran Passione Prosecco. We've had it before.
Yes.
But we wanted to pull this one out because we do have some familiarity with it. So this one's an extra dry, which oddly means it has more sugar than a Brut.
Okay.
So that's why we did it before that. But you can see still, not as many bubbles as the Cavas. Smaller. They suggest this has crisp and delicate effervescence, a light pale yellow color with a complex bouquet of fruity notes, peach, green apple, and lilac.
Lilac.
Which you should get off of Prosecco. You should get some of that. You get some weird, like, very acidic tropical fruit things, and you get some really weird
this is better
floral
than the Zonin. And I'm sorry, you said price-wise?
This is only $10 about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is a little less expensive.
Oh,
I think in Prosecco, the little extra sugar does work well.
Yeah.
Americans like seeing Brut, though, because, like, we're very familiar with it. Yes. So the Zonin sells a little bit better. And it's a very well-made wine. It's a nice family. They do a great job with it. I like this one a little bit more, too, just because I think the little bit extra sugar really helps.
It really does.
Yeah, really helps. So if you're looking for Prosecco, honestly, if you can find an extra dry, I think it makes a good difference.
Wow. This was so fascinating to me. I never really knew so much about bubbles. So again, I expressed my excitement for this episode because I love bubbles. But I'm like, I don't know, this is good. This isn't too sugary. Like, that's kind of my knowledge with bubbles. So this has been fascinating.
That's why we're here for you guys, to give you a little bit of... I know all of these facts, but when do I get to share them with people other than in kind of this format?
Well, and putting them like
things. 2
Proseccos right next to each other, that was fascinating to me. So
very different wines.
Great.
We like them a lot. Okay.
This is a staple at the Gallagher family. So my dad is a big fan of this with mimosas.
This one's going to kill me.
Yeah, Nick is going to hate this, but we like this at our house.
All right. So Korbel Brut. We have 2 American sparkling wines now. America is doing a better job with sparkling wine. There's some good sparkling wine producers, but we still haven't quite hit the heights of other countries like Spain and France in particular.
Yeah. I'm loving that you have to drink this.
The other thing I should say about Prosecco real fast is there is Prosecco that's called Freixenet. This is called Spumante Prosecco that we have.
Okay.
Spumante means it's very bubbly. You're going to see the cork and cage enclosure. Okay. If you see Freixenet, it's just fizzy. It'll have just a screw top. So if you want something just with just a skosh, look for a Freixenet.
Is that the difference between cork and cage and screw top?
Yes, generally.
What? Okay.
Also, hipsters like screw tops.
On that, though, all of these had a foil except this. Is there a reason?
I think they're cheap.
Oh, great. Okay. So no, then.
Sorry, Mawby. We're actually hoping Mawby's been great to work with. And we're actually hoping we could do a virtual wine tasting then coming up.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I just think it's a great way to save some money. Okay, so Korbel from California. California champagne. Let me tell you, they got their asses sued. They got all of America into a trade dispute with the European Union because they wouldn't give up saying California champagne.
Because it's not actually champagne?
Yes. Oh my God. Actually used to just call it champagne.
Is this why you hate Korbel?
And they got us in a trade dispute and things and stuff.
Oh, this is great.
So they don't say what grapes this is. I'm assuming it's Chardonnay and...
Yeah, it's like a little more yellow looking.
Probably like some other crap.
I mean, it's fine.
Korbel Brut is America's favorite Methodois Champenois champagne. It's not a champagne. It is used to celebrate more weddings, anniversaries, and New Year's than any other quality champagne. Well, first of all, it's not quality champagne, so...
Okay. Maybe after comparing this to the rest of the ones we've had today...
Okay, so look.
It's also warm.
No bubbles.
Which is my fault.
Tiny bubbles.
Yeah. Yellow.
It's flat.
Yeah, wow.
It's got a weird kind of like viscous fruit sweet note. Like it
smells
sticky.
Worse than the others.
It's a little musty.
It smells like apple juice, to be honest.
It's just not.
Okay,
Oh wait, here we go. I told you some other crap. Chardonnay, Chenin Blanc. I was gonna guess Chenin Blanc. French Colombard, which is a garbage grape, and Pinot Noir.
Man, you've ruined me. I've like always been fine with this. Like we get to my parents, my dad busts it out, and I'm like,
this is $10. This is $10.
Are they all there? And they're all widely available.
Yeah, they're all widely available.
If only I could just get them at Lake Geneva Country
also
Meats. Also available
at Lake Geneva Country Meats, but we're trying to make sure these are wines people can find.
Yes.
Also, like producers we support.
Yep. Okay. Well. I will perhaps by New Year's, I will do this very same sampling. I'll bring it over to my dad. I think, man, I feel so defeated right now. I don't even know what to say. Not that I should say like, oh, I knew Korbel was the best thing. I just like was always fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine. Okay,
so this next one is really cool. This is Mawby. I don't know if it's US Brut or Us. I think it's Us. I think it's US Brut. So this comes from Michigan.
Yes.
If you have stayed with us for a while, last year we did a custom wine with them based on this wine.
Love
that
it.
was called Bubbles for Your Troubles.
It was awesome. And you had to read the label that was like, hey, drink this. You'll probably remember exactly what it said. I don't even
When
know.
your kids are total shitheads,
Yeah,
drink this.
like and it lists all the stressful things we all deal with during the holidays. This year's label couldn't have been big enough.
We couldn't have done it this year.
Maybe next year we'll do it again.
So this is a blend of Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, traditional grapes, but then Chambourcin, which is kind of a Michigan varietal. You can see this has a little bit more pink hue to it.
Yeah, the color is so different.
Not quite as bubbly as the Cava.
I hope this doesn't ruin me because I
Still
like
very
this.
fine ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I still like this one.
And it's very good.
Yeah. It's very bubbly, actually.
Yep. They suggest soft red fruit scents, ripe flavors, and a clean, rounded finish. So I do agree. This has got more of that red fruit. It's got kind of like red delicious apple stuff.
For sure.
And that's from that weird Chambourcin wine grape.
Michigan apple.
Really refreshing.
Yeah.
You're supporting a local business. You are being good for the environment because you're reducing transport costs if you live in the Midwest.
Suttons Bay, Michigan.
And they're just a really cool company. And they're doing really cool stuff.
Yeah, this is refreshing. We got to taste a variety of them when we were picking out the Bubbles for Your Troubles bottle last year. And this was the one that I think we decided was like most universal out of the sparkling wines that they had. This was the one everybody would like, you know, as opposed to anything more unique.
And they do some higher level ones that are more money that you can look for. This is kind of a hybrid method of producing sparkling wine, which is why it's kind of a hybrid between the other two.
Can I just talk about how perfect this 2020 bottle is, though? It says, classically sparkling, aged youthfulness. We are better together.
Aww.
We are all in this together, people. Okay, that was a good one.
All right, and then one last one. We're going to go to the motherland of sparkling wine, which is France.
Ooh.
So we're not doing champagne. If you can find champagne for under $15, let me
us
know. Would love to find that.
Yeah, so sparkling wine.
So this is called Cromwell, which is the name for sparkling wine used in a lot of places. You can see like Cremant de Bourgogne.
I don't know if I've had this one.
Burgundy sparkling wine. You can find Cremant de Lemieux. You can find Cremant de Bordeaux, Cremant de Alsace, Cremant de Southwest France. Lots of Cremants. This is the Charles Armand Blanc de Blanc, which means it's a white wine made from white grapes. So all Chardonnay on this one, I believe. Let me double check that.
I have a very important question once you've checked that. I'll wait till you let us know about the Chardonnay. I don't want to mess anyone up here. Well, okay, I'm going to give you some time.
Only white grapes, so it's multiple. So they probably throw in some other stuff, like probably some Chenin.
I'm so excited to... I don't know how your feelings about this. Like, I knew your feelings about some of these other ones, and I don't know. Maybe I've had this, but I don't remember it. Okay, so you see that we have 7 bottles open, and Nick has taught me one of the greatest things ever. So there are stoppers. How do you store champagne is what I'm trying to get at here. So, like, you can buy a certain type of stopper.
They're very dangerous. You need to be careful with them.
Really?
Yeah, because they really can...
I mean, I believe that, actually. So,
shoot your eye out,
what
kid.
what is the option if you don't have that?
So my trick is I take some aluminum foil and I make a mushroom shape out of it and shove it on top of the bottle. If you just shove it down and then really clamp it close, it does a really good job of keeping the carbonation in.
This was the best thing you've taught me in 2020, I think.
Thanks, Bridget.
So I just wanted to make sure if you guys are listening that you get that tip.
It's a little trick that I figured out.
It's like what?
I was probably drunk one day at the end of a tasting and like, I want to take this home.
Yes.
But I didn't have anything.
I do?
So like a little kind of tipsy Nick figured out.
Light bulb.
Let's put some, because I would not have figured this out if I was completely sober. Let's be honest.
Best ideas go.
Let's put this in here, mushroom it up, seals it tight.
Yes.
It's great.
I don't know how long it can hold, but it holds
2-3
overnight.
days, honestly.
Yeah. It's made it, because like, I mean, Tyler will like maybe have a glass of champagne with me, but like, we're not drinking a whole bottle necessarily.
Twice
we did it. Anyway, I thought that was a great tip, so use that
Thanks,
one,
Bridget.
guys. Yes.
So yes, this is says let's see.
Oh,
Delicate bubbles highlight the finesse of its effervescence. Fruity nose with yellow fruit, peach, apricot.
Apricot.
And soft palate.
That's what I'm getting, which made me kind of go.
Yep. That pleasant stone fruit.
I mean, pleasant.
Yep.
It made me go. Eh. But really? I mean, it's good. I think apricot, like.
It's pronounced apricot. Try saying apricot and see if you like it more.
Apricot was way more delicious. I think I didn't expect so much flavor.
It is very flavorful.
Yeah, maybe that's all. Is I just didn't expect. Like, it's very good.
I love this. This is my favorite of the bunch. I figured as much. I like the complexity in it. I like the aroma.
I think I need to like go. I could tell that this would be your favorite. It does feel far more complex than any of the others.
And it's only $15.
Right. I mean, for that reason.
Hell of a deal.
Honestly, I support you guys sampling some of these on your New Year's Eve celebration and telling us what you think. I am surprised by the Segura,
That's
actually.
your favorite?
I have to go back to it. I love the Mawby, actually.
Let's go back to it.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to say. The Segura, the Mawby, and this Prosecco.
The Gran Passione.
The Gran Passione, yes, are my top three. The Mawby I'm clear on liking because I've drank it multiple times. So I may just have to do the Segura and the Gran Passione again.
Bridget, I know you sometimes have trouble making up your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Shocking.
the people want to know.
The people want to know which is my favorite.
What is Bridget's favorite? Because we have to decide what is the best champagne under $15.
Well, Nick gave you his opinion. I feel embarrassed if it's this. Segura.
No, I was actually, I like to go to these things open-minded, but I have my opinions, and I thought this would be the winner. I did think this would be the winner. I feel good putting my name behind.
Yeah, the thing with the Segura, especially after tasting whatever the one, what is this called? That your favorite?
Charles Armand.
Okay, Charles Armand.
Armand.
I don't know how to explain this. It is less flavorful, which is kind of like, I don't expect flavor from my champagne or sparkling wine. I just like kind of want the bubbles.
I think what that hits is a good combination of, so just the bubbles is a Zonin, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe that one wasn't, I prefer the other Prosecco.
Yep.
But it did have a little more
sugar.
Yeah, yep. This one, what do you think this Segura has flavor to it?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that kind of apple, stone fruit type of thing. A little bit of sugar. It's got kind of that earthiness on the end.
I think the earthiness is what I'm used to, actually. Yep. So this feels like comforting and normal to me.
Which we all need in 2020.
Which is what I'm looking for right now, guys.
This is going to be on YouTube forever. And people are going to listen to this in like 2040 and be like, what
happened in 2020?
So scarred?
Why does this girl want champagne she's familiar with?
Grandpa, why were you guys so scared of 2020?
Why did you hate everything? Yeah, I think Segura is my winner.
So we really aren't going out on a limb by saying this because I think they've won a Wine Enthusiast Best Buy 15 years in a row.
Wow.
It's always been under $10. Our friend
That's
Jeff
crazy.
Siegel, the wine curmudgeon, we did a podcast with him this time last year. He's got a $10 wine hall of fame. That's really awesome. Winecurmudgeon.com. Seriously, really check it out if you like value-priced wines.
Curmudgeon. I don't even know how to spell that.
Curmudgeon.
Sure. Okay.
But he always has this in his top 10 of the year.
The Segura?
Every year. So, yeah, I think we can say
Segura
Vieutis, Brut Cava, best champagne under $15.
Awesome.
Sparkling wine. They also have a rosé version. If you
we didn't even touch that.
If you like a little bit more of that red fruit, a little bit more kind of perceived sweetness, the rosé is great. Same price point.
I'm just resampling my top favorites. Yeah, still Segura.
All right. So, great. Bridget, give us the rundown one more time of what your favorites are.
All right. My favorites, my top three are the Mawby, right from Michigan, nearby. That's a great, refreshing one. Loved that one. I've liked it for a long time. Nick introduced me to it. I like the Gran Passione Prosecco. That's
Gran Passione.
Gran Passione. And
you did
Gran
the hand.
Passione.
Yes. Gran Passione.
I'm on board.
Spaghetti and the meatballs.
I'm really just in the back of my mind, what can I drink this as a mimosa with?
Fair.
And then my favorite for mimosa or otherwise is Segura. So that's the one that you can just have a glass of on any holiday, on a Tuesday night if you want, or a Wednesday or a Thursday. So that's my all-time favorite.
My favorite of this bunch is the Charles Armand Blanc de Blanc. I think you can find some really great stuff from France around that $15 price point. If you like something a little bit more complex, if you are a sparkling wine snob like myself, I would say that bubbles are great all the time. I love the Winston Churchill quote of "I need champagne in victory," and I deserve it in victory, and I need it in defeat.
I thought it was the one that was behind you.
Dom Perignon is actually the guy that invented the method traditional.
Oh yeah,
that's why it's named Dom Perignon.
Oh,
because he was a monk and he figured it out.
What a guy! We all owe him something.
Have you ever had Dom?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't know. Like during my wedding days, when I was working weddings.
Did you spend $350?
No. It was never something I would have done. It was given to me, but it wasn't like a bottle wasn't given to me.
It's a life-changing experience.
How much is a bottle of Veuve?
Not very much.
Just curious. People,
like $35.
Like the rappers. Are you serious?
They're drinking Cristal.
Oh, Cristal. I don't know, you guys. That'll be a different episode.
Next episode on Pinkies Up, the Unpretentious Wine Series. What is the most unpretentious of the $500 champagne?
We're going to budget $4,000 for that episode.
Cristal's good. Cristal is definitely a sweeter one. Which, without getting to sound weird, like I think a certain, if you have a little bit of a sweet tooth, if you like very indulgent things, Cristal is perfect for you.
Like hypnotic.
I like Paul Roger, the Sir Winston Churchill cuvee. First of all, because it's named after Winston Churchill, who was one BAMF.
Huh?
Oh, do I have a bottle here?
Yeah, it's been on my shelf, man.
Oh, we should open that. We should open that.
Decorating my shelf. You can't focus anymore. We're on $15 bottles, Nick.
Is that really the? Oh no, that's just a vintage one. That's not the.
I really threw them off, you guys.
I was like, did I have an extra bottle of that floating around? So that's just the vintage one. Oh, that's not.
Back to the $15 bottle.
Ones. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe. We put one of these episodes out every month. In between, we have our weekly episodes where we talk kids, life, food.
Anything you'd chat about over dinner and drinks.
Because we still have those drinks. Thanks for watching. Remember, Segura Vieutis, best $15 Cava that you can get.
Have a happy new year.